Okay, so what we have here today is we have an Audi, an 89 100 Quattro. Good old car, a little over 250,000 miles on it. Just a baby for an Audi. These things can go forever. What happened to this car is the customer actually complained of the car intermittently not starting, and then finally it actually was dead for like a whole day. Eventually the car started back up and he drove it down to the shop. What we have to determine, I have a suspicion just from the symptoms that he described earlier, which was backfiring when he was driving down the road occasionally, and the car kind of hitching, cutting in and out. My suspicion is it's probably a lack of spark, most likely an ignition distributor. However, to determine this, there are a few things we can use. What I like to use is just basically a spark plug with a clamp actually connected to it. And what I'm going to do with this is connect it to the motor, pull out the coil wire from the middle of the distributor cap, and then I'm going to have my partner here actually crank the car over, and we'll see if we actually have spark. So let's get to work. So the process of doing this is we're going to pull out the coil wire and connect it up to this little handy dandy tool, and okay, go ahead and crank it again. And as you can see, there's no spark at the spark plug. So now we have to determine why. I believe it's actually the distributor. There are a couple different ways that you can actually diagnose this. One way is by actually going and reading the codes, which is kind of a pain in the rear in these cars because it's a flash system. And I actually have an extra distributor, which is the same for this car, and I will show you the next process.
My fuel gauge stopped working too, almost at the same time, which is really weird.
So what I have to do here is actually disconnect the distributor wire. This is it goes to the Hall sender in the distributor, and I'm going to connect it in with this other distributor here. And if you'd be kind enough to turn the car on. The key has to be in the on position, the run position, to do this test. Let me know when it's on. And now I'm just turning the base of this other distributor and producing spark. So we've determined that it's actually the ignition distributor, and not a big deal at this point. We'll just have to change it out with a good used one, the one that I actually have in my hand.